Welcome to another wonderful episode of Stoned Soup. There is nothing like soup after you've been stoned, and that's why we have Chad as our fearless leader, because there is no one who can stone soup better than Chad. And so we are gathered here tonight to do the best we can, to do wonderful poetry and have fun and feel warm and fellowship and have Chad is responsible. Remember, no matter what happens, Chad is responsible. He put me up to it. So, do we have any announcements that we would like to begin with? Is there anything important to say before we begin our wonderful open mic readings? I see no hands. I see no jumping rabbits. I see only David Miller. David Miller, who is going to come forward and speak to us in glorious terms. David, it is your floor.
Oh dear, what a setup. All right. I could speak to you in glorious technicolor, but yeah, well, hi everyone. And I actually have a poem that is a seasonal poem. It's in 5. Maybe everyone else should mute themselves, possibly. There's a lot of background noise.
I'm controlling it.
Oh, thank you. Okay, great. Thanks. All right. Yeah, I was going to say, this is a seasonal poem, and it's in 5 parts, but they're short, so it's not a long poem. Titled, Each Year's Odometer. 1. When my family was young, mechanical odometers rolled their numbers as interlocked barrels. Hardy veteran autos pushed the count toward nothing but 9s. Kids strained from back seats, watching the sedate rotation to a row of 0s. Imagine those irresistible nulls, a child's charm for starting over. 2. Each year's odometer rolls back to 1 from 365 or 6. Aerial cameras sweep across swarmed Seoul, mobbed Melbourne, overrun Times Square. People kiss, scream, wave "Hi, Mom" hands for international television. Fatalities on wheels stripped the sash New Year's baby of grown-ups he will never know to miss. The codger with his scythe gathers them and vanishes. 3. Buttered saxophones, old Lang Syne via Guy Lombardo, swelled across a disappeared black and white TV screen when 11:59:59 fell into 001 like water in water. My teenage earworm, loyal from then till now. 4. 12/31 flips to 1/1 like a vintage departure board. The calendar count then fattens day by day. Pratt falls again this final midnight as the great electric ball strikes the platform or a wrangled champagne cork sails across the room. We free fall back to 1/1, yell away the tired year, celebrate like all's forgiven. 5. Imagine 0 minutes, 0 seconds. The immediately gone instant between New Year's Eve and day, like 00000 turning 00001 before anyone notices. Anything might happen because nothing has happened yet. I want that moment. I've never grasped it. With first shout, first embrace, caress of champagne glasses, we're already head first into a year-long crawl toward the next balloon set to burst at 11:59:59, that last instant of 365, or every 4 old acquaintance rounds, 66. Thanks. Happy New Year.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Let's see some applause. Where are those fingers? Yes, yes, yes. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. And now, after David, we have the enormous opportunity, honor, excitement. I am Santa Claus and I should not. Yes. Minion, are you ready? Are you excited? And you are muted.
I know. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready. I wasn't going to read tonight, so bear with me. The sound of artifice. Mine for the picking. A 7-foot tree with lights. No siblings in sight. Mummer and George or Hannibal. The rest of us could see it timbering to the floor. Cats mewling in alarm, skittering from rolling spin-shiny red or shattered glass. Nephews clap, nieces bursting into tears. Their mothers prim or ferocious, probably mumbling, "Those damn kings." We weren't trying to be dramatic or pushy while doing the heavy looking on, or just fleeing in disgust when even with the ceremonial sawing of the trunk, that sucker wasn't fitting in the room. The tips always grazed the ceiling. Sam was diplomatic about it. Frank, logical, as they tried to coax the stubborn pair or trio into a consideration of the stand and the star. Every time, snowflake-worthy hostility greeted any admonition. "Hoist," they'd say, and it would stand upright. "Stop," they'd say, and they'd remove the stand spiking the tree. Saw some more. "Now get a ruler," as if one hadn't been proffered by less tree-greedy brothers to begin with. I'd be reading a book at 1 a.m., anywhere from 24 to 72 hours after the insane amount of tinsel and plastic icicles, 200 ornaments, small gifts applied on the branches, now rustled, kerplunking to the floor. Matthew, in the living room, doubling my own activity while watching Gunsmoke, reading Sherlock Holmes and drinking spiked cider, would announce up the stairs, "Timber!" as if the tree greedies hadn't figured that out 20 seconds after their startled, nightied and chenilled or flanneled minds defogged. I don't miss presents. While staring at the barren tree, my roommate says I can decorate now however I like. But, oh, Mama, George, Matthew, the silence.
Bravo, bravo. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Oh, I feel so warm and cuddly. This is so confusing. I can't understand when I talk and when I don't talk. I mean, this electricity thing, isn't there another? You modern people and you're all things. Back when I was your age, let me think, things were different. John is going to tell us how things were different because John is going to give the next poem. Go for it, John.
Thank you. So I just read a kind of sad statistic that more people have died from COVID than died during World War II in combat. And so, that at least prompted a new poem. I thought about what would happen if America had fought World War II like COVID-19. December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The president calls it fake news and urges Americans to buy Japanese. As hundreds of thousands die in Guadalcanal and Normandy, the public adopts swastikas and Hitler salutes in disdain for the liberal media. No scrap drives, no Rosie the Riveter, just Emperor Hirohito on the cover of Life magazine. Gilligan and the skipper shadow convoys across the Atlantic and radio their positions to lurking U-boats, calling him an Antifa terrorist. Gomer Pyle mails Audie Murphy death threats. Barney Fife kidnaps General Eisenhower and tries him for treason. A lot of people, really important people, say this is a terrific generation, maybe the most terrific of all. Terrific is better than greatest, okay? It's huge. better than the generation that freed the slaves too. Bunch of losers, so sad. Why terrific? Winning, it's true, so much winning.
Thank you, John. Bravo. Wonderful. We have indeed gotten tired of so much winning. So go back to a little bit of losing for a while. James, are you holding up your hand for a reason? Nope, his hand was just staying there. That happens. My hands go do that sometimes. They just. Okay, we need a Carol Weston. Are we going to be able to unmute Carol Weston?
I'm doing that right now. I do it for her. All right, Carol, you are going to be up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm ready?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's very short. The meaning of Christmas. Can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear
we
me?
hear you very well.
Oh,
Excellent.
okay. I heard some weird noise. The meaning of Christmas is the light that falls among us from mysterious places. That's it.
Hey, Carol.
Thank you, Carol. That was indeed short.
Hooray.
Carol, thank you.
In which case, Nancy, you are going to have to follow up Carol. You have to be long. So we're going to unmute Nancy in a moment, and Chad is working on that. And Nancy, you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very, very well.
Waiting for a smile. A smile upon your face is a lovely image to see. Her charm and her dander enlivens a face with candor. A high-spirited gal, like sparkling crystal, alert to smile. A meek, gentle gal, caught happiness and joy. Never to smile again is to be a depressed human. Though not alert, it lessens frivolity. Smile, gal. Have a soul and have a spirit. I like happy souls exploding galore, you drummers. Come Halloween, walk through this eternity, and then, my friend, join them again in Hallows Eve.
Hey, yay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Bravo, bravo, bravo. And now, Jan, is Jan going to read? Jan, you're up if you want to read.
Yes, Bill. Bill, you said that how many bottles of beer on the wall? I thought it was 99.
Oh, I
You
drank
said-
the first 39.
Oh, well, anyway, I had been working on something about Trump's lawsuits, about 4,000, but I'm having a hard time with it. So that's very rough. I'm not going to read that. Okay, but I have this. The things you find out. Cassini satellite was launched well over a decade ago. I just found out with 70 pounds of plutonium. A NASA scientist resigned as the satellite would be circling too close to the Earth's 5 billion people as it slingshots around the Earth en route to Saturn. And would show us Earth viewed from Saturn's rings. Always this has been soothing until now. Supposedly the plutonium of Cassini could have been solar. And then this little snippet. We don't know more about 3 Mile Island's 50% meltdown because of the non-disclosure agreements. And the people harmed would have lost their settlement money. But there's something about the wind direction and lung cancer, and it could be on nuclear.org. Very disturbing. Thank you. I'm so pleasant.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you. Oh my goodness. We have come to, it's time for the reindeers. I can feel the reindeers coming on. Yes, I feel the little green horns coming out of the head. Do we have a ginger reindeer anywhere who would like to read? There she is, Patricia. It is you. You're on. Go reindeer.
Okay, can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very
Okay,
well.
good. Okay, great. Okay, for the holiday, haiku. Christmas madness. The cat ignores everyone. Christmas madness. The cat ignores everyone. Cat shows gratitude. The gift that keeps on giving. Another dead mouse. Cat shows gratitude. The gift that keeps on giving. Another dead mouse. More fun than a scratching post. Christmas tree. More fun than a scratching post. Christmas tree. Bright lights, shiny balls, beckon curious cats to attack the tree. Bright lights, shiny balls, beckon curious cats to attack the tree. South poor kitty. Ornaments go down for the count. South poor kitty. Ornaments go down for the count. Kosher kitty spins the dreidel, wins more treats. Kosher kitty spins the dreidel, wins more treats. Hanukkah kitty looks for catnip, 8 days of meows. Hanukkah kitty looks for catnip, 8 days of meows. Hanukkah lights, shadow of the cat, nibbling on latkes. Hanukkah lights, shadow of the cat, nibbling on latkes. And lastly, catitude escalates on Hanukkah. Oy vey is mir. Catitude escalates on Hanukkah. Oy vey is mir. Oy, 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 oy. Catitude, yes. Catitude. Oy. I couldn't do anything serious tonight. Sorry.
That's great. That's great.
I keep it light.
That was wonderful. Oh, we need more catitude. I see that Clay Ventre is here. Are you going to be reading, Clay? You are?
No, thank you.
Oh, you can if you want to. I'm being silly.
No, I'm good. Thanks. Just here to listen.
We are happy to have you with your one eye and observing us. Now, let's see. We need to go on to Eric. Are you ready? Are you feeling it, Eric? Are you ready to go on and do something marvelous for us?
Let's see. I thought I'd be home by now, but I'm still on the road. But I don't have my notebook with me. I think I'll have to pass. Hello?
If you're going to pass somebody, make sure that there's nobody coming in the other lane. So when you're passing. Gosh, I am funny. Oh, I'm going to be a comedian if I ever grow up. I have decided. So we need Clay. Is Clay feeling? Oh, wait, Clay just told me no.
You're muted again, sir. Mr. Bill, we can't hear you. Uh-oh. We seem to have difficulties. Oh, there we are.
I'm terribly sorry. It's very, very confusing being able to. Chad, would you be able to give me permit, make it possible for me to share do a screen share?
I would have thought that would already be possible, but let me do one thing. Let me see what's going on here. Give me a moment. Enable waiting room. Da-da-da. Just give me one moment. Oh, here we go. Ah, here we are. Okay. You should be good now. And don't forget to unmute yourself.
Oh, yes, I keep forgetting to unmute myself. So,
Oh, jeez.
Bill, you keep muting yourself.
thank you. I keep forgetting. It is very kind of you to remind me, but yes. So, jingle bells. We are going to sing jingle bells together, and when we get to the blank, the next person, we fill in their name. So I will read the first one up to here, and I will fill in someone's name, and then they have this much time to sing the next verse and fill in someone's name. So the other person has to unmute themselves fast enough to get in and to sing the next verse. So you know who you are. We know who we are. Are we ready? Yes, we are ready. We are going to sing jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Patricia, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
She's, uh-oh. She's on.
Unmute.
Okay. Now, where the hell am I? Now the ground is white. Go it while you're young. Take the girls tonight and sing this sleighing song. Just get a bobtail bay. 240 as the speed. Chad, hitch him to an open sleigh and crack your take the lead.
I hate you. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, no one else is after me. Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Put a name in there.
All the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Choose the name, Chad. Choose the name.
CC.
Go. This is yours. So,
Oh, jingle bells, the page turned. Oh no, dashing through. Oh, on a one-horse open sleigh. That is so funny. I drove horse for 10 years. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Did you hear that? Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. Whoever's next is fun at the sing the sleighing song tonight. Who's next?
John.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells all the way. David, oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Yeah, all right. I can't do any voices, so maybe I'll do an old man. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot, and I gotta find somebody else's name. Okay, Ethan got into a drifted bank, and then we got upsot.
Bravo. Everybody did a wonderful job, even though I put them in the wrong order. We figured it out. Thank you. Okay, so that was my contribution to the festivities of the evening. That was wonderful. Let me cool down for a moment. We have, oh, Tony B, you are here. Tony B, would you like to recite something glorious?
Nice.
She's muted.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here on the last, is this the last email of the year? This is the last email of the year on Facebook, and it is Christmas. Can't you see my boots behind? I have a gift for you from Ashley Rose. A poet gave me this, and I will go back to my regular human being self. Of course, the other Tony has written this. Hello, Chad Parenteau.
Hello, Tony.
I think you're featuring tonight. Thank you for the forcefulness of your friends. In the Black Book featured here. This book is my age. It is years old. And in it, there's a poem by Toni Morrison. Of course I must read it. It's called The Black Book. Have you all seen it? You all look like fans. I am the Black Book. Between my top and bottom, my right and my left, I hold what I have seen, what I have done, and what I have thought. I am everything I've hated, labor without harvest, death without honor, life without land or law. I am a Black woman holding a white child in her arms, singing to her own baby, lying unattended in the grass. I am all the ways I have failed. I am the Black slave owner, the buyer of golden peacock bleach cream and Dr. Palmer's skin whitener, the self-hating player of the dozens. I am my own nigger joke. I am all the ways I survived. I am ton mush, hoe cake, cooked on a hoe. I am 14 Black jockeys winning the Kentucky Derby. I am the creator of hundreds of patented innovations. I am Lafitte, the pirate, and Marie Laveau. I am Bessie Smith, winning a roller skating contest. I am quilts and ironwork, fine carpentry and lace. I am the wars I fought, the gold I mined, the horses I broke, the trails I blazed. I am all the things I have seen. The New York Caucasian newspaper, the scarred back of Gordon the slave, the draft riots, darky tunes, and merchants distorting my face to sell thread, soap, shoe polish, coconut. And I am all the things I have ever loved. Scuppernong wine, cool baptisms in silent water, dream books and number playing. I am the sound of my own voice singing Sangaree. I am ring shouts and blues, ragtime and gospels. I am Mojo. I am Mojo. I am Mojo, minion. I am Mojo. Voodoo and gold earrings. I am not complete here. There is much more. But there is no more time and no more space. And I have journeys to take, ships to name, and cruise. Toni Morrison, 1973.
Yay.
Ooh.
Right, thank you
Jesus
so
had
much.
nappy, Jesus had nappy hair and copper skin, and the world is celebrating him. I don't know what to say, except for Merry Christmas. Thank you, Holy Spirit.
Ho, 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 ho,
Oh,
So my cousins, I love my cousins and I abused them so badly. I decided that for Christmas, each of them would get a beautiful fake leather bound book, moleskin, an open moleskin book that they could write things in. And of course, nothing that teenagers love more than doing is writing and their thoughts in beautiful books. I told the youngest one to see how long it took the others to actually open up the book and look, because you see in the book, there's actually a little section like like a little pocket. And if you look in the pocket, then you can take out the $100 bill that's inside. So we're going to see how long it takes the kids to figure out. So I'm feeling very clever about this. And now we need our next reader. I believe that we have come to, Cici Ashagra, are you reading? You are, of course you are.
Yes, I am finishing queuing, and if that's okay, I am turning this on. Hold on. See if the camera works. Oh, I'm on a different computer. My computer is in the shop, so I borrowed this one. This is so it looks fuzzy. Woo. So I'm in a cloud. It looks like I'm in a cloud. So Stone Soup Poetry. Gateway Series #1. I don't know if anybody remembers ML Morgan. She used to call herself Morgan. She came down from New Hampshire, used to go to TT the Bears, and she was an amazing poet. And there's something about the holiday season and compassion. And yes, Jesus was copper. Woo! Go copper. I gotta go with that one. Can't let that go by. So, and they also moved his birthday. It was January 6th. They needed to steal the thunder of the solstice. That's another one that nobody knows. Anyway, back to poetry and the compassion of Stone Soup and how Jack believed in inclusiveness. And there was something about the rise of all my wonderful and beautiful friends that went along with the wave that came in to town when slam poetry came from Chicago to Boston to TT the Bears to the and all that thing happened. There's a lot of little bad stories back there, but love was across the board, and talent and art came out of it, and some beautiful poets across the board. But there was unfortunately some people that got sort of felt like they got run under the bus, which actually launched subgenres and so no matter what happened, here we are today. It's all good and it's all love. But she was a person who also dealt with a lot of abuse issues in her poem, and she was rough and graphic. And so although this covers those subjects I just mentioned, I'm going to read a poem by somebody. And this is Jack and Stone Soup going back into publishing after a long time and starting. I don't know if there was ever a Gateway Series #2, but this fell off my shelf the other day, literally. And I said, that's a sign, so I must read it. If you read me yours, I'll read you mine. That's the subtitle. The title is implied, and you'll pick it up. On the third rail, there is no smoke. People roll tongue their words past the toke. Verbally stoned drawl, ode, or fast spoke. All share the common noose, bang their heads, bite their tails, and rape the muse. No hands approach, soft, mental, molest. It's announced for all, an oral climax contest. Lower the mirrors, hone the lights, pass out drinks, lubricate the tight. Poet's cue panting to blow the mic. From wrong side of the tracks, I, not the engine, nor caboose, approach the platform, G-string, my coach cars, lank and loose, and tout, all aboard, pick up and guide all whom can afford a first-class ride. I could provoke, if stoked and stroked my boiler and funnel, for I run on coal, steam, and fire. I am the conductor. I direct my desire to couple coast him down low valleys, to lick the full bow straddle, rank and rattle, ride him quick, wagging my tank engine tail, freight forward, up, higher, higher, evolution of my train. I think I can, faster, Faster and faster. At last, we almost reach choice mountain peak when engineer voices over loud wire. Attention, arriving, Carolina, a tire whine. Wait, that name's not mine. My passenger got off just in time for his sole destination, right before my final station. End of the line, soft spike, derailed. I leave a whistled trail. I thought I could. Spilling drinks, audience abruptly stand, hot, horny, and fast-paced winks, mentally masturbating in their hands. Panties are wet, zippers have grown. People clap, cheer, shout, and loud moan. Poets are perverse, unsensitive, and bare. How could you bring us so fucking far and then leave us halfway there? Poets shouldn't be afraid to be critical of ourselves, and it's not an easy thing to do. But in the end, we do have to love each other. And on that season, go Copper Jesus!
Bravo, bravo, thank you.
Morgan, I don't know where she
Now-
is. What happened?
Come to that moment.
Nice flow.
When she read it, the staccato that her delivery was unique. I don't know anybody before. I can't even recall. I know that it was a really rich staccato though. It was good.
Thanks.
It's a good book. Mother May I, Stone Soup, poetry. That's her. I don't know if the.
All right.
What year?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's her and her mother. That's Morgan. That's what she looked like back then. What year? Good question.
Okay, now we have come to the penultimate performer on the open mic. Penultimate, we all know, means second to last. So James Van Looy, you're going to be second to
Sorry,
last.
1997. Shutting
our
off the mic.
ultimate-
Thank you, James.
And our final speaker then will be Ethan Mackler, who is probably not speaking, but playing. But anyway, so our penultimate speaker is James Van.
Thank you. So I've got a piece here. It's actually, this is a famous quotation. I think it's from Winston Churchill. So the title is, "You can always count on the Americans to do the right thing after they've tried everything else." You can always count on the Americans to do the right thing after they've tried everything else. On the day the earth stood still, the stranger from beyond said this: "The universe grows ever smaller." When really, before globalization ever was articulated as possible, we were already talking about a dwindling earth, the ground slipping out from beneath our very feet, great loops of mechanized air hops, whirling propellers chewing space, contrails, spider filaments caught against the torrential sun, beating us down into the retreating earth, until we all became characters in cartoons, tiny little things in panels, frames that kaleidoscopically waft away a Mandelbrot self-similarity. Ever receding, you'd think we would just disappear and then vanish. And indeed, we actually said that. And it was the ultimate rendition of the ultimate sin of bad writing. You could see the red pen note on the term insurance class paper. Redundant, redundant, redundant. And here we are. You think we've disappeared and vanished, but you know, we're still here on our little planet. And there's a song that goes with this for the inflated individual who attempts to think he's really in charge. Oh, yes, he's a great projector, projecting when he can't do well. His need is such, he projects too much. He's alone, so no one can tell. Oh, yes, he's a great projector, adrift in a world of his own. He makes the game so he'll feel no shame. You left him to project all alone, to realize this feeling of make-believe, to real what he feels, what his heart congeals. Oh yes, he's the great projector, laughing and pay like a lord. He seems to be what he's not. You see, he's spitting his heart like a sword, projecting, but we're not around.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Ah, you're a genius. You're a genius.
Hey guys, what's up? Chad, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, we are coming up to our last open mic. Dexter, I just saw you showed up. Do you want to do an open mic? Okay, yeah, then Ethan, you'll be on right after Dexter. Dexter, it is yours. Take it away, my friend.
Sorry I missed Chad reading, but in tribute to Chad always used to have these
I haven't read yet, so thank you.
Oh, you haven't read yet? Okay.
Not yet.
All right. So in tribute to you, you always talk about these Jesus poems, and I've been writing a lot of Jesus poems lately.
I wonder why.
So I wonder why. Maybe the Spirit is coming to me. Maybe I'm getting divine. All right, so here we go. I think Jesus came back. I know he came back. I know. You don't think so? He's here though. Can't you tell? His staff, you know, his walking stick is like, it's like media or social entertainment. It leads us, it guides us. I mean, what you think he would say? How things surprised? I knew they was gonna, I knew life would be like this. Soon as I saw the Roman soldiers coming for me, I knew we would be living like this. And when they put me on the cross and they nailed those nails through my hand, I definitely know life would be like this. And these fries are great. Wow. Oh my God. What's this place called again? McDonald's? Oh yeah, oh my God. So if you're gonna cry and get angry, think I'm gonna get angry and yell and scream? Why? How? I sacrificed myself for you guys. And this is how you guys are living? Call y'all sinners and pimps and harlots and thieves and killers? Chase the money? No, too late for that. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna get out of these rags, get a shave, get a shower, get a ride, and get some, you know what. But first, I'm gonna get me some more of these fries. Wow, these are great. I mean, I don't have any money, but if you buy me these, I'll grant you a wish. A wish. So yeah, Chad, these I don't know, man. These poems have been coming to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a sign or something, you know, trying to tell me to change my life.
Ooh, don't be a sinner. Don't live in sin.
Don't live in sin. Thank you, thank you.
Hello, thank you. Thank you.
David Miller, what's up?
David Miller.
Hey, you guys. Hey.
What's up?
Doing fine. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Did
you read?
Yep. I was up first. Sorry. Yep.
Oh, man, sorry I missed you, Dave.
Oh, well,
Remember,
thanks.
it is always a million times better to live in sin than to die. And now, our ultimate open micer is going to be Ethan Mackler. Okay, Ethan, take it away.
Ethan's here. Oh shit! It's a special night. Ethan's here.
And then lay a few opening words, Ethan. I love it.
He came from Bellingham and now dwells in Jamaica Plain. Week after week we've gathered. He's helped us ease some of the pain. And now it's his feature. He steps forward if he dares. But first, some sounds, so gather round so that we may all prepare. Back to you, Bill.
Oh, bravo, bravo. This is wonderful. What an incredible, glorious, glorious time we are having. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for the open mic. It has just been a wonderful time. And now we come to that moment to introduce our hero. This is not merely a person who writes poetry. This is the person who makes things happen. We would not be here at Stone Soup if this man had not made it happen. It would have died out decades ago, but he came back and back. Anyone can come up for a few days or a few weeks and lead a poetry reading. But Chad has been leading this reading for over 35 years. Chad has been reading poetry reading. Before he was born, he was doing poetry readings. You've certainly heard of the poetry womb. Chad was doing the poetry womb back when he was very, very young. So this is who we're dealing with. Chad, please place into the chat how we may send you donations. We need to send you donations, lots of piles of money. Everybody, we are now going to send Chad gold, piles of gold. And in the meantime, Chad, it has been such a wonderful honor to have you as a friend, and because you make things happen. That is really where it is, and all of us owe you the greatest debt. Boston would not be the wonderful place it is if it weren't for the fact that you are here making it possible for us to do our stuff. And now we get to see you do your stuff. So everybody give a giant round of applause, an incredible round of applause. Turn off your mics, turn on your, just make a lot of noise. Tell Chad how much we appreciate what he has done.
All right.
It really goes. Chad.
Yes! Thank you, dear friend.
Woohoo!
Power.
Can I turn off my mic too? Okay. I've never felt so simultaneously flattered and yet feeling like I brought this on myself by asking Bill.
Oh. Everybody insult him at the same time. Oh, you suck. Oh, it's terrible. Bring it all down.
That's how it usually works with me. But that's how it usually works at home. No, anyway. Oh my God. Thank you guys all very much. I'm going to go double stereo now because I don't have to worry about anyone calling me, because I'm actually at home with my girlfriend and her daughter. And I told them they can all stay upstairs and with my extra headsets and thrash metal so they don't have to hear me pontificate again. I've been doing it a lot this week. I had to do a workshop, and I appreciate those who came and spread the word for that. And I appreciate anyone who's seen it since. You can catch that on Friends of Oddball. I've had a lot, I gave myself a lot of stuff this week and kind of wondered why. And then I actually, in so many words, I have a complicated December, more so than most. My father died in 2007 in early December. And then 5 years ago, I basically, this month marks the 50th anniversary of the death of my grandmother, Louise Dupree. And today, to this date, my sister Kristen, of which of her dog more than her because I kept her off the camera. But her dog Smokey adorns my Facebook feed pretty regularly and my regular blog and everything else. Bonus material on my blog, I've been doing an advent calendar of anything holiday themed. Today's selection was video of a fan film of Jason Xmas from based on a Friday the 13th. I just picked stuff at random. But today I want to honor a lot of people who are here and a lot of people who aren't. So I kind of based my selection on that. And it's fitting to start with this one because not only is it based on my sister's relationship with her dog, and her dog made a lot of family gatherings easier as my sister lost her ability to speak, and my mom was dealing with both her and my grandmother. So this poem also got published in Telltale Inklings by Minnie and Ariel King, which I'm very grateful for. It's called Smokey's Pace, Smoking being the little pug. Kristen's guardian pug finally has something small enough to guard. Sister still, bedbound. One more thing close to heart, keeping time, counting down. He lies on her, exhausted from the torture of waiting. The front door silent as a cemetery stone's back, owner unknown. Sad on joy, he won't turn to calls of food or rides. Waits on newly stitched flesh for new signal to rise. And father passed away from cancer back in 2007. It's scary that it's been so long that I have to double check on the year. But this is a poem from my patron emeritus book, published a few years back. And this is I hear a sneezing cat in the background. This is Father defies death to dictate a letter 35 years later, whether or not I made it past 64. Did you ever figure out why you picked up cigarettes at my apartments by the slum house? It's jungle lawn catching garbage tossed from windows. Do you know I gave haven in the state I would bite back in the town I didn't even want you to be into? Did you surmise I was teaching you to squeeze stone from stone to make blood? You wouldn't be first to beg God for blasphemies. Do you think I chose my dream house in Cambridge or even Franklin, half a college town? It was Bellingham, Massachusetts for Peter's sake, the town's motto, not the Bellingham in Washington. Why choose there for my wife's museum quality home where the police stop by to share wine on our deck and give confession? Admit it. You thought about my tenants, my driveway with cigarette butts I sent you to pick up the day you threw out the heavy-breathing poets in your audience, mummy shuffling to compete for a woman's knee. And your jobs, your causes. How many years did you spend in position running to from toppling Roman-style columns before you could stop running, before pride gasped, this will hold? Psst. Remember the car crash I survived, the self-made compact they pried me from, the newspaper report I kept closer to my heart than any campaign clipping? Have you learned it yet about our family? We're promoted to captains in our first shitstorm. Amidst gossip, people have been fitting you for straitjackets and coffins since junior high. Make these your hulls and sails, pirate them to ride your own. And this is one from my dad that I haven't read in a while. Just gotta check if I'm right, have these on right. I had to buy headphones with no left or right indicators, so it takes me a while to be like, this feels like it's, yeah. This is called Knots. Father gathered ties with butterfly collector's eyes, virtuoso choosing shades, fractals. At 22, my ideal design cartoon faces, he would fit me from his doors of racks, holding my student hands like a frustrated painter, my foreign hand quick young man's knot, versus his time-taking half Windsor. Once knotting straight solids in false family crests, dad chameleoned old with new, veteran gentleman suit and swirls, Mardi Gras beads he never wore, introducing mom to the stripper table dancing across New Orleans. Mom told her she was beautiful. A month after dad dies, my tie inherited a melted ice river on slated shell, tattooed turtle, head pale, bulging neck sticking out, trickling raindrops I'd rather dodge than dance through. 2 years later, planning trip, I pick out stalks in my size for a tie to hang from, berry vine surviving late winter, traveling far enough to see the new side of sun. I will paint my face with colors, filling father's hues. And I chose a selection of poems based on the people who, both on poets who are here and who aren't here. We lost Lynn Stickler over a year ago. It'll be the second year anniversary of her death this month, I think, or next. It's very scary when you lose track of things like this, but this is why I write the poems in so many ways. I wrote two for Lynn Stickler, and she is the one who got me into Stone Soup. And if it weren't for her, however we parted, I would not be doing this today. This one's called Away, and it's a Stone Soup crouton poem I wrote in the open mic after we first heard. Away. Both sides of the same coin will hurt you if flung at your face. This is the only wisdom offered without passive-aggressive asides. School is out. You still want to skip it just to have mom yell at you again. There's a Christ hidden in your Chrysler. Takes you far enough. You may as well ascend. A jukebox of jitterbugs in your music mix of generations. The dead poets never talked about you. Time to finally return the favor. No party hat as target on your head. You need that like you need a body of water. Put in your way of road. More homeless in a house. You ride a lone gunman at rest. Vow to use your silver bullets solely for tolls. Next throwback asks, country road, take you where you already are. And this one is called Those Who Never Walked Their Cats by the Shore Like Lynn Stickler. And yes, she did do this. She had a cat on a leash and did this. I had a picture once. I regret losing it. Both sides of the same. Oh, wait a second. This is not it. Wait a minute. I've read this shit before. Let's see what's happened here. Let me look up away and I'll get to it right away. It's very strange that the same file has two different names. This is why I'm glad I go through my poems, because if I screw up and paste something wrong, I can at least correct myself. So that, let me see, one moment. Of course, I have to screw this up while I'm live, but what are you going to do? There we go. Those who never walked their cats by the shore like Lynn Stickler. They should remember her as girl on blonde fire who walked slowly, choosing where to cool her feet, who picked a puddle over a reservoir, found abundance in deserted sands, a playable hand in drawing the death card. Where nothing seemed cyclical, she drew her own circles into maps, her trail a wand's wave. Confident even crab apples tossed into the ocean find their way downriver into a unicorn's mouth. That a tune on her lips from a band's closing set would reach the ears of those she waited for by the beach. That poets are otters able to sweet talk swim through any body, waiting for a hand to hold in water. Some of these I have not read for a very long time. And this one is, I wrote during the tribute to Walter Howard, which took place in April of 2018. Walter, I think about a lot in Christmas. I don't do a lot of Stone Soup poetries, at least live in person during Christmas week. It's probably a blasphemy in the world of the Stone Soup purist, but that's the way I was. One day, I actually held Stone Soup on a Wednesday, December 26th. I was there. Tom Tipton was there to let me in. The only other one person who came, who drove, God bless his soul, through a terrible winter night was Walter Howard himself. I still have the picture of him with a kitten on his shoulder, and I still have his poem, which I'll probably post tomorrow. I basically recorded his own whole set, and of course I shared it with everyone, and I shared so much with Walter. And I kept on thinking he was going to be around forever. He had that effect on you. This is from 2018. Where we'll gather again. Meet me at the sidewalk cafe that all the hipsters shun, where the roses unironically wait to be placed as a crown for your favorite cousin, or a wreath to throw down by the latest fallen poet. We can come together before another Russian winter invades our hard-won spring to cover the trampling tracks of terrible, trendy feet that barely miss their mark. While the coast is clear, we can translate the last words of the crushed, left behind as unintelligible tongues speak. Later on, Mr. and Mrs. Moon can quarrel over coffee, over which of them attracts more unwanted attention from anthropomorphic starved acolytes. Let them reach Mount Katahdin heights of tension until Deacon Blackbird serves the final soothing brew of last rites and well wishes, while he withholds his ever-present plea for us to never leave. And next year marks the 50th anniversary of Stone Soup. I hope we will reconvene. This one's appropriate. This one was written celebrating Stone Soup's then 48th anniversary. Yes, on I wrote this on May 2nd, 2019. It's during a low attendance, so I always write side poems when that happens. This is called Once Seen, spelled S-C-E-N-E. Loons pick trophies from the last party's literal watering hole. Jesus and Magdalene came together. People only took selfies, while the crickets put down their legs and stopped to stare. Magic fades after initial "I was there." No one's been back. Maybe it's best we only recollect the butterflies in the way of nature pictures we didn't like. Let's see what I can do next. I do have a selection. I do have a plan. Let's do someone who is here. Listening to Tony B. Lectures on dreams lullaby us into a waking vision. She stands for us in her sleep, lies down, touching trees. Downstairs in plain sight, upstairs band can't keep up. Her titles defy royalty, her voice elevates princes. Ready for flight, we wait for her to tell us, believe. And that was for her Cantab, now historic final Cantab appearance, as the Cantab is no longer a thing. I was glad I was there to film and glad to take pictures at least, and glad to document that. It seems more important to document than ever. I have an idea. Here we go. I still do work on oddballmagazine.com. This week was a collection of poems for a segment I call the Christmas Wars, for people who like to say that there's a war on Christmas. And a lot of them were surprisingly very happy, just because I think they needed to feel happy about something, a lot of nostalgia, and I let it go that way. This is a Christmas war on Christmas poem that I actually felt the need to write in September of 2018. I guess the war on Christmas started early that year. Happiness is postponed for a season as no one can get it right, as joyless as a one mic karaoke or your local church's music. No festive dishes, no loud turn of the new year. Drink your tea in a mug as white as the chalk. Your drink tastes like sans peppermint. All pageants banned this eve. No refugee stories of immigrant havens. Intellectual welfare, taxpayers' gold, and fake news single mom virgins. The president works on your day off, puts the red phone by the tree. Let's put the Christ in C rations, the X back in safe houses on your map. Angry exposition pollutes your night before verse, anticipating silent rage the day after when you clean dying old men's messes. Find out who's fired now, workers breaking bones, sliding down the wrong side of black ice wonderland. You're more likely to find secret presence in the snarls of your unshaven face than to expect a stag to track you down, lie at your door. Use the back of unwashed laundry, lean against it until your head dances visions of meaningful labor. Let's see what I have left. I think I'm going to read from a couple from my book. And again, I have to give love and thanks to Miss Munero King for helping to put this together. This was a hard one to do because these poems were put together, I don't want to say slapdash, but I did slap myself in the face as I was dashing them off every Friday morning. It's a wonder I did these as long as I did, whether it was Monday night and then doing them Tuesday morning or Thursday night and doing them Friday morning. I'm glad I have a day break now, though. It's not every day I write stuff and then 5 years later I'm like, wait, what did I write here? This is called Open Mic Songs of Self from the book, The Collapsed Bookshelf, and much love to Ed Galt for the cover. The open mic's first guitarist keeps his tired guitar in its case to share an epiphany he wrote in the bathroom between entries, while others read letters to their exes, either having no desire to share returned addresses or no idea where they are, having met when there were no mailboxes to mark where they slept. The second guitarist just wants a comfortable stool, bereft of a mic stand. He's ready to move on before you ask what song he played. Meanwhile, the open mic host has innards of frayed rope and rabbitfoot's charms to replace or hide his heart. The third guitarist had a voice so soft it flew on neutrinos with a plea for reverb to fly with the gravity of cosmic rays. Any of us will settle for going with the rain, settling outside while children wait under awnings, hacky-sacking in a badly drawn circle. The audience cries for a bomb thrower to break the tedium of themselves. The final guitarist turned his performance review into a thunderclap. Everyone is drinking at this point. The last player keeps everyone at bay before going to bum a smoke off the co-host, leaving the host unfit to brave the storm. And that's the open mic, except for the quiet ballad by the stranger, only loud and strong enough to sing for somebody else. I don't want to go too much further, but this is called Gauging My Mother's Wisdom. She's been through enough to have had enough, but not enough to quit. Quiet resolve bowled over by bipolar grenades of outrageous fortune. The ebb just one side of a spinning coin, an inevitable flow. No one she knows will make it through the 21st century. Cold is no comfort. Even ice will split you in half, as it did her house post-blizzard. She sees even the brightest light can come reflected in water large enough to drown you. Even destroyers from myth can feed you once they're done with you. She understands the world is dangerous, like opening a fresh orange, like a professed independent who votes Republican every year, ballot poised for Trump. For some, the poison tastes fine and medications don't heal everything. Eventually, our Earth's heart stops and we can't breathe, and somehow the man or woman moves. I'll read the last poem from the book and then one more. This one's called Rusted. And I send this out almost as a partial request for source finding. This was based on there's a reference to W.H. Auden and Louis C.K. And the reason being is that there was a poem I read over 20 years ago that I remember being written by W.H. Auden, and it was simply called My Wife, and had the amazing killer last line, freedom is as mortal as tyranny. With that information, even with that line, I've never been able to find the poem. So I'm not 100, well, I'm pretty sure it was from Auden. I'm not 100% sure it was. So if anyone's ever heard of that poem, let me know. This is called Rusted. Sorry, man. We're only allowed to play the fool tonight. It's part of the Groupon. Let's go to the bar where the Doors and Twisted Sister play back to back. Where W.H. Auden and Louis C.K. are quoted in the same paper, the student scrambling to finish. Corner table, we poets write in a round robin, nothing is brought forward. We are at least lucky to not have a need of fuel. We are not interested in progress. Our mossy tomato heads are not built for the beaches, the ceiling never alone, as scribes go from thesis to pay per minute web cameras, to pictures of Trump's wife, to cheating websites, without even having anyone to require we use stealth. Finding loopholes through both the Ten Commandments and Bill of Rights, imposed impunity. We've been putting quarters in the jukebox, hoping to score an unheard siren who can help crack up a new mirror that tells us what else our rusted, ruddy faces resemble. And I'm going to finish off. I don't usually do this, but I don't usually feature myself either, so I'm giving myself a lot of impunity tonight. This next piece of material, I'll close off with, because as much as 2020 really sucked in a lot of ways, I can't say anything bad happened to me. I can't say I lost my job. I can't say anything. As a matter of fact, I have a house. I moved out of a crappy apartment. I moved with my girlfriend. We were happy together. We're still in love. But it was still kind of a rough progress to go through, as have been the last 4 years. And I'm very thankful at least some things are going to change in 2021. I'm glad that 2020 at least ends on a questionable note rather than a dead cynical note. I plan to do a lot more stuff coming up for 2021. I hope this 50th anniversary of Stone Soup is exciting. I hope we can all be together. I hope to get at least 3 issues of Stone's Throw out. Starting in 2021, maybe even in January of 21, we'll see. There's a lot going on in my head. There's a lot I'm trying to put down on paper. I appreciate everyone who's helped to facilitate that, and that includes everyone in this room. With that, I'm going to end off with New Home for Holidays. That was written this past Monday. Last storm of century year paints new canvas newer. Spotlights compete with moon in search of conjunction. Whatever lands at week's end will still be Christmas. Every year is end times, family cards pleading repent. We'll huddle close, stuff stockings with any foods we can smuggle. Look up from God's amphitheater, count down, final night. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, Chad. That was amazing. That was wonderful. Everybody turn on. Yay.
Yes, Chatters.
I forgot how much work this is.
Noise.
How many years is
Thank
it,
you so
Chad?
much, Chad.
I started in 2004, the end of 2000. I think the end, actually, wait a second. No, it was the end. It's so sad that I forget these dates. This is why I blog so much, just because I need to remember shit when it happens. This is why I blog everything. I blog everything but my own food, unless I'm in a really good restaurant. But the last time I blogged food, to be fair, was at Baked Alaska on Christmas Eve, actually 5 years ago. Whoa! Oh my God, I don't know what that is. Here we go. Here we go. I don't know what the noise is coming from. There we go. We have, I did this all the way. Yes, it was back in late 2005. As a matter of fact, my first. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure. My first feature ever was Anne Carhart on August 29th. That's the first feature I ever booked.
Wow.
And Anne Carhart, I wish was still with us, or at least I think she's still alive, but she kind of bowed out of it. And actually, the reason I featured her was because Lynn Stickler, who I was then dating, had just come out with her new book, or was about to come out with it, with her book collection called Sanctus, Sanctus, Sanctus. And I had first booked her. I was intending just to book and not host, but then I was called to occasionally host when Jack was unable to, which unfortunately was frequent. And then shortly after 2006, with the 35th anniversary of Stone Soup, when I featured Carol Weston, that's when I kind of really took it on full time. But I was always hosting. I was always. What's that?
You said 2006?
2006 was when I really took over. I was only temporary host, and then I somehow became full-time host, and I know why, because Jack had a stroke leading up to the 35th anniversary performance, and that robbed him of almost all his ability to speak.
Well, I'm deeply grateful for what you did around that time. That wasn't an easy time for Jack and for everyone, and for you to come and go when they needed you, and then pick up the reins. You know, you deserve a lot of love for carrying the torch this far. It's an amazing thing you did. And I'm grateful. And I think a lot of people are. And I think if this goes on for another 50, 100 years,
don't say that.
I don't think that would, you know, it could happen. It could happen.
It'll probably show up in another form. Will it turn monthly? I don't know. Will it be all online? I don't know. It's something might have to change, because I'm an old man, by George, and it is getting tougher and tougher to do this each passing year. I have more and more ideas and more energy, but the body lacks a lot. This was.
Well, just put the word out. Somebody will. There's other. You know, maybe there's someone who wants to step up and really carry. I don't know. We don't know.
It'll have to be someone very special, because it's also
James. Hello, speaking of James.
Yeah. I think James and I are both tired. We might, James has also been the proverbial like Ed McMahon in terms of doing this. He's been the go-to guy, the person always there, the person always closing. I am grateful for James, just as I was grateful for the late Bill Barnum and everyone else, as well as to stand-in hosts like Ed Galt, and especially Tony B, who in 2016, when I just had to walk away, kept it going, almost to my chagrin at first, but I am much more grateful for it. And that's the one thing I have in common with Jack, and I didn't understand it until much later. Jack was angry about having to give it up. That much I knew about, and I have a lot of testimony about that, and including his own word. But when I saw someone else do it and I was staying home, I'm like, what the fuck? So it's going to be tough for me to finally give up. And if I ever do, I'll probably start something else. But it's also very hard for people to attach themselves to something that they feel they weren't a part of. A lot of people want to start their own thing, their own series, and more power to them for that.
Well, it's the right person. It'll everything will work out just fine, I think.
Well, my point is that I'm, for anyone who is able to do it, and for anyone who's stuck with Stone Soup for this long, I'm very grateful for that. I put in a link for my book, The Collapsed Bookshelf. If anyone hasn't bought it yet, to buy it to support Minion Ariel King. And if you can pass it on, I know it's from the devil. I know it's from Amazon. I didn't expect them to go even eviler in 2020.
Can you get it someplace else? Can we get it someplace else?
Unfortunately not. However, if you want a supplemental one with a guilt-free conscience, I can also recommend Patron Emeritus, which actually is from Foothills Publishing. So independent that they go through PayPal. So independent they don't post their books on Amazon unless someone wants to be a wise ass and sell it as a used book and a rarity for $50. That's actually happened to 2 of my chapbooks. My Sarcastic Hyper chapbook was actually sold for being on sale for $25, $50. I'm like, dude, I'll give you a PDF. It's not worth it. But I've also posted the Foothills Publishing link to Patron Emeritus. If you haven't gotten that yet, you support someone who's living in rural New York, doesn't even have working plumbing. He lives in an Amish house, and this person was a soldier who continued to put out books, to work on books, even after his house caught on fire, after he had accepted my book for publication. I'm hoping there's no coincidence to that. There's just coincidence for that. But he was a soldier who put that through. He still continues to put out books, and I hope you support him. If you're uncomfortable giving to Amazon, I don't blame you, but I had to somehow get in the game and be a publisher and be an author for real. So I'm so glad for Minion to get me on Amazon, even as I feel ambivalent about it. But if you want to support the small press, there's my chapbook there. And if you go to my website, which I'll also link to, there's links to other journals, books, and other people that have put out books. Above all, I do want people to support the artists and the publishers, because everyone's making a deal with the devil these days. Some are just more blatant about it. But I respect anyone who's fighting the fight.
Yeah,
however they can.
I've only shopped at Amazon twice, and I've only walked into Walmart 3 times, and I'm very proud of that.
Definitely. But but above all, if you want, I will say this: I am in the beginning stages. For those, I forgot to post the information for Philip J. Curtis, so I'm going to be reposting that tonight. You don't have to pay me tonight. You can pay the books. You can pay the booksellers, the publishers, the money. Minion does get money. If the Michael Sudarsky does get money, they do get probably more money, probably more back, because it's his direct PayPal account. So if you can support these authors, that would be great. I'm on the cusp of doing a Patreon page, which means that people can donate as little as $1 a month, and that would help me supplement a lot of things moving forward, especially if I continue to have Zoom post-COVID, which I really want to, because I brought together a lot of people from a lot of places I still want to keep on coming here. So I would love to do that. And my Patreon has been created, but has not been established yet. And I am going to try and work on rewards and create new collections and new exclusive poems and videos. That requires a whole new level of energy. So I'm going to be, basically finding myself, figuring out what I can do and what I can offer. Patreons are very tough if you're just a writer, but I've seen people like Tony Brown pull it off, and I'd like to try. So all I want to say is, if you can support the booksellers, do that and buy a book. I sent a link to my website, Poet for Hire, which actually has links to at least one other chapbook that's from Savannah Barbara Press, another independent press, and it's a little less expensive than the full collections. And keep on looking at my Medium articles, pass them around, and just spread the word, because I would like to go branch out a little bit more and at least not lose any more money than I do doing the writing gig and doing the hosting gig and doing the perpetuating of and doing the spreading of voices and doing the work on Oddball. I still want to do all this in 2021. It's the one thing that's kept me going in light of everything else kind of being atomized. Even when things were at their most stressful, I kept on doing this week, and this kept me going. So I do want to thank all of you for that. You want to support the people, you want to support me, support the people who have supported me in my work. And keep in mind, if I do more stuff, if I do the Patreon, just consider donating $1, $2. I'll have a reward system somehow, and I will continue to create content and do a lot more in the future. I think that's all I got to say.
Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bravo, bravo.
Yeah. Not the country in Africa, but this Chad.
Jesus.
Our Chad. The one and only Chad.
Oh my.
The chatterer.
Oh my God.
Terrific.
It was a real
Chatteron.
Chatteron.
Help me.
Daddy.
Help me, Lord.
Daddy, Dad.
Well,
You've been a good boy for Christmas. You're gonna get Santa's gonna come and give you a little gift.
Yeah. I bought my own gift. I bought my own gift. I got Jack McCarthy's new posthumous book of lost poems, which I hope you get, the lost poems of Jack McCarthy. And hopefully I'll be getting more as time. And hopefully I'll buy myself a gift. It's fewer gifts this year because we just got a damn house, and to be quite honest, we're still unpacking. I don't even have all my stuff here yet, and we just don't want that much more stuff in boxes.
And where are you now? What town you in?
I'm in Herman, and
Ooh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
For the video's purposes, I am parts unknown.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
Ethan kind of snuck it out. It's not quite true, but I usually let people guess Jamaica Plain, but it's not quite that. But I'm close enough, and I am still in Boston, and that's what I wanted to do. My next goal for 2021 is to be classified as a Boston artist, not necessarily because I want the discounts or any special housing privileges, but because I want to be damn known as a Boston artist from the city and put a damn stamp on it, because I've been doing this for 20 years. I earned it.
You have.
Yeah.
You have.
Oh, wow.
One of the things that Stone Soup taught me, and I went every week for 10 years. I do not think I missed a week. And it's a huge part of my life and eternally grateful. And I just missed the cusp of you coming on. I left Boston, I think at the end of 2005. And after seeing generation and a generation come and go, and the poetry scene go from 3 venues to 30 in that time span.
Yeah.
There's something that I learned, especially if you include Passim's and the folk scene and the comedy scene and the theater scene, and they even have open films in Brookline they had. I mean, it was amazing. They had Dancing at Night, which was like an open theater thing. It was beautiful. Liberty Cafe opened, the one that was in the basement. Upstairs from the Irish Bar. It was incredible. It popped up in Jamaica Plain. It went into Roxbury for the first time, the library, and then everything just came together. It was amazing. But the one thing you learn generation after generation that open mic gave to the human being who could put their name down on a piece of paper, education or not, low self-esteem or self-worth or not, and get up and touch art, is that the one who always falls true to themselves is the one that years later has got this integrity about them that when you meet them, that they're there with their soul. They're there writing down their life. They are dying in real time for you and trying to be something, not just for the world outside, but to become who and why they're here. And the open mic does that like nothing else. And public arts, public poetry, and it gave me the courage to do something else, which I'm not talking about now because I don't want to parlay this into something else. But I love all of you, period. and never stop leaving room for this to exist. The open mic, it goes back to the soapbox, and it goes back to having a voice, and the king is not going to kill you. And the jester with that stick with the head, that's the jester's head. And if the emperor don't laugh, that's his head on the spike that's coming off. Never forget you have a voice. Go Copper Jesus. I love you gave me that line for the night. I'm running with it, Tony. Thank you. Sorry about my little, if I got a little ranty there.
No problem. No problem. I am, can I do an encore? There's only one. The only reason is because I didn't do anything political, and to be quite honest, my girlfriend and her daughter are tired of the Jesus poems. I've been leaning on those a lot. Look for the Donald Trump Jesus Requiem coming in January. I've already written at least 50% of it, and I'm working with artist Eric N. Peterson on the final art for that. I did Donald Trump Jesus Part 5, the night of the election. Thank God, the next one I do is going to be the last one.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm still doing my Tales of the Alt-Blight. I did a read based on my work with alternative news, that being the real fake news from the alt-right that's been slowly taking over real news since a conservative estimate would be 2015. But it's probably been going on even longer than that with the scatterbrains and the Tea Party movement. So I comprise poems based on their headlines. And by headlines, I mean email messages, articles online, BitChute videos. What's BitChute? You don't know? I want your life. And other sources. Alex Jones is a beloved source, if not a beloved man at all, in terms of the crackpot headlines. And my magnum opus might be this one for the year because it was written based on the headlines of November 2020. You can imagine, just as the news shifted day by day in November, what the headlines were like this last month. It may only be topped by December, especially as the headlines keep on saying something's coming. The arrest's coming. Trump knows. Trump made plans for this in 2018. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's like, oh my God. But anyway, this is the last poem of the night. It's from my Tales of the Alt-Right poem column. It's called Go Down Slinging. President Trump's clear path to 270 and the election win. President finally unleashes his secret weapon. Alert! The election fix is on. Democrats collude with CIA to launch intelligence operation. Deep state planning the red mirage. Patriots know the playbook. Countermeasures in place. Dirty Democrats openly cheating. Fraud upon fraud upon fraud. When crooks and con men take over your government. Election insanity. They stop counting votes. It does not exist. The virus does not exist. But Biden voters are electing their future suppressor in chief. Trump traps Democrats with ingenious sting operations set in motion in 2017. Americans have now reached the final line in the sand. Fight or die. Michigan voter fraud discovered. USPS whistleblower exposes the late ballots hand stamped November 3rd. No more nice guy nonsense. All federal election ballots were watermarked to reveal fraud. NSA security software turned election. The American Republic is falling. Communist Chinese backed coup succeeding. What you're seeing is a fabricated media illusion. There is no president-elect. Trump win validated by quantum blockchain system recount of votes. Mitt Romney Mormon mafia. 69,000 votes transferred from Trump to Biden. Trump wins Alaska and it's 3 electoral votes. Trump wins Endgame.
Wrong.
I can have Alaska.
Could President Trump be the first to ever receive 100 million votes? Intelligence Insider exposes electronic vote fraud. Boom! Trump drops bomb. Election psyop continues. China caught printing ballots at Chinese consulate in Houston. Marxists inside our government. Dominion voting machines will open the corruption floodgates. They can stop recounting votes now. Dominion software got caught. Amazing details unfold. The Patriots have it all. Bait taken. Deep state plan accelerated. We will win. Trump was set in 2018. Kraken be releasing. The evidence will blow the minds of every person in this country. Election will be overturned. Evidence will shock the nation. Finally, governors get locked down. Deep state fantasy land. Who holds the power? We the people. The Kraken was already released. The results are just beginning to emerge. Special forces recover servers that prove Trump won. Voter fraud all over the country. Explosive report. CIA server confiscated. Worldwide election fraud. Trump had at least 80 million votes. Here is the evidence. Dominion execs running. Message sent in the past, received in the present. Special forces assets are now being deployed. Take down America's domestic enemies and traitors. The Great Reset versus the Great Awakening. Something big is stirring in the background. Zombie vaccine? Mark of the beast? The Kraken is about to be released. No escape. It's going to be biblical. SEAL Team 6 delivered server safely to Trump. The vice is tightening around the deep state. We now know why Sidney Powell released the Kraken on CIA, Antifa et al. COVID is greatest hoax ever perpetuated. Extreme panic in DC. We are at a crossroads in the history of our civilization. Massive bombshell. Supreme Court preparing to certify Trump's re-election. Bill Gates software ran the entire US election. America must reject the Soros puppet Joe Biden. Obama prepares for his third term. Trump needs to speak out to secure his path to victory. Republicans prove massive election fraud by Democrats. Democrats declare martial law. Kraken! Not myth, but real. The sting of the steel revealed. This isn't over. It's just getting started. This is about the survival of the greatest nation on earth. Pennsylvania's sleeping legislature awakens. How social justice and COVID ruined Thanksgiving. Trump's wild card is the US military. Tribunals coming. Hot war between the White Hats at the NSA and the deep state. Trump team produces massive evidence of fraud. Deep state destroys it. Watermark ballots confirmed. Truth is spreading. Biggest election fraud in history. Of all that nonsense, my favorite one is the one that where the headline literally says Trump needs to speak out. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Right. It's so shy.
What?
Modest.
How come modest?
Oh.
And yes, I know Trump is just a symptom of the worst problem. Yes, I know that Trump is now basically America's tulip. He only has as much value as we put in him, which unfortunately may last several years from now. If you don't know about the tulip craze in Europe, look it up. I think there's similarities. But that is all I have for tonight. I'm so sorry I went on this long, but it has been a fantastic night. I'm going to turn host again and give a round of applause to Bill for doing such a great job.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill Murray.
For all you wussies,
Thank you, man.
for all you wussies who are wearing, complaining about wearing masks, he's wearing a beard and like the glasses that might be fake, a full hat. You know, he can do this. So can you. But thanks to everyone who came tonight. Next week is actually the last week of Stone Soup, and Rick McIntyre is the feature. And I hope you guys come around for that because I want a lot of people to have the last word. I didn't want it to be me. I'm too cynical. I'd rather have it go to Rick McIntyre, who may be cynical, but at least is going to be hilarious about it. He's one of the funniest poets and yet one of the most profound at the same time. And he is excellent person who I'm looking forward to closing us out. And then I believe the week after that will be Minion Ariel King featuring. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send me your bio, Minion. We'll post that right away.
Okay.
So with that, it's weird saying goodbye to my own feature, and I'm going to pull back because I know if I go up this far, everyone thinks I'm already bald. So not yet. I'm still holding on here. I'm hanging literally by hairs. But if everyone could do one more wave for me. And freeze. Oh, no, do the wave and then freeze. It's much easier to stop it. Otherwise, it look like a blurred hand. I'm like, what are you doing, Chad? Okay. Thank you guys very much. Again, I'm closing up and cleaning up after my own feature. Thank you guys very much. Love to all of
I
you.
gotta bake cookies now.
Go bake cookies. I have to have dinner.
Thank
I
you.
will-
Merry Christmas and Merry Stone Soup to you. Thank you, Chad.
Happy holidays. Keep in touch. And oh, yeah, the show's over.
Long and prosper.
Okay.
The show is over. See you next time.
Yes.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Okay, bye.
You can do it.